Punchchi Commission on Center-State Relations Report 2010, Volume 4, Local Self-Governments and Decentralized Governance. Chapter 9, Summary of Recommendations. Recommendation 1, Structure of Panchayats. The slow pace of empowerment is owing to the complex nature of the system. Too many activities need to proceed simultaneously. Transfer of funds, functions, and functionaries, and separately to three tiers. This complex matrix needs to be simplified. There should be a two-tier architecture of local government. Article 243B needs to be amended as follows. Quote, Article 243B, Constitution of Panchayats. 1. There shall be constituted in every state panchayat at the village and district levels in accordance with the provisions of this part. 2. Notwithstanding anything in Clause 1, states may constitute panchayats at the intermediate level if they so desire in the interest of good governance. Recommendation 2, Rotation of seats. The concept of rotation of reserved seats for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and women to different constituencies, as well as to officers of chairpersons of panchayats, is commendable. However, the period should be long enough for the incumbent to get familiar with such positions. The rotation should hence be after two terms of the panchayat. Relevant clause of Article 243D would need to be amended for the purpose. Recommendation 3, Time-bound devolution of functions. States have continued to drag their feet on the devolution of powers to panchayats and urban local bodies. There should be mandatory devolution of functions, and it must be done by the year 2015. Priority should be given to items pertaining to basic needs. Articles 243G and 243W should be amended to mandate the devolution of functions as listed out in the 11th and 12th schedules, together with the powers and authority to implement them should be done by the year 2015. Recommendation 4, Model law. To guide the states in time-bound devolution together with transfer of activities with requisite funds and functionaries, a model law needs to be prepared by the center and circulated for adoption by the states. The model law should also address the issue of inconsistencies of existing laws, rules, and regulations with Parts 9 and 9A. Recommendation 5, Monitoring the devolution process. A commission be constituted in the year 2015 and thereafter regularly after every 5 years to report on the status of local government devolution of powers. For this requisite provision be made in Parts 9 and 9A on the same lines as Article 339 and 340. Recommendation 6, Streamlining institutional arrangements between parallel bodies and local governments. 1. All parallel bodies would need to be harmonized with the local government setup. This may result in many parallel bodies being merged with local government institutions, whereas others could continue for functional efficiency but with clear lines of accountability. 2. Each ministry should come out with clear, unequivocal, and detailed directives regarding the merger of parallel structures that they have mandated with the appropriate local government level. 3. The professional component of parallel bodies may be continued as cells or units within the appropriate local governments. 4. If for any reason it becomes inescapable and a parallel institution needs to be created, it should be done in consultation with the local government and made accountable to it. 5. A common set of accounting practices should be prescribed, which ensure that accounts of the parallel structures which remain or are created because of functional efficiency are captured in the accounts of the local government concerned. Recommendation 7. Coordination at the district level. 1. This aspect should be looked after by the district planning committee. The collector should be a member of the DPC. 2. The collector is overburdened and hence there should be a separate administrative structure for the district panchayat. Recommendation 8. Dispute resolution and interaction mechanisms at the state level. A council be established for the purpose with representation of local governments and the state government. It should function on the same lines as the interstate council at the center. Recommendation 9. Enhancing democracy through empowerment of disadvantaged groups and involvement of civil society. State legislation concerning local bodies should mandatorily have provisions to involve civil society in specified activities and to take care of the special requirements of the socially, economically, and physically and mentally challenged members of society. Recommendation 10. Mega cities. A representative local body for mega cities, which may have cities, towns, and rural areas within its geographical confines, is not recommended. Recommendation 11. Common electoral rolls and delimitation. 1. Laws of all states should prescribe that the rolls for the assembly elections be adopted for elections to local bodies also. 2. Article 82 needs to be amended to provide for setting up of state delimitation commissions, which should be required to align the panchayats and municipal wards to the existing assembly constituencies. 3. The reservation of seats on the basis of the delimitation exercise should also be left to the state delimitation commissions. Recommendation 12. Extension of parts 9 and 9A to 6th schedule areas. 1. It will be open to district councils and village councils to adopt the salutary recommendations which are made from time to time with the objective of making the Panchayat Raj institutions more efficient organs of socio-economic development. 2. All schemes which seek to provide funds for capacity building, strengthening the planning regime, and such like, emanating from central sources, should also be available to them. 3. The 6th schedule areas should also adopt the basic reforms that underlie any good system of local government. These include activity mapping based on subsidiary mechanism for engaging all stakeholders, devolution of adequate untied funds, and streamlining of schemes and putting in place a well-laid system of accounting. 4. Devolution of powers to the councils in the Northeast must be ensured on a time-bound manner by suitable amendments to the 6th schedule and articles specific to the states of the region on the same lines as suggested for the rest of the country. Recommendation 13. Extension of Part 9 to 5th schedule areas. 1. All existing state and central laws need to be brought into alignment with the objectives of PESA. 2. The center needs to fulfill its special responsibilities under various provisions of the Constitution towards the 5th schedule areas. Recommendation 14. Discretionary powers of governors in 6th schedule areas. All powers exercised by the governor under the 6th schedule should be in line with those of a governor in other states. Recommendation 15. Integrating traditional institutions with the formal system. Traditional institutions have their strengths and weaknesses. They need to address their weaknesses, but change is desirable not through imposition but must come about voluntarily through introspection. Recommendation 16 Funds to local bodies. 1. A change should be brought about in the manner of formulation of centrally sponsored schemes and fund transfers. 2. All central funds should flow to local bodies only through the states. Recommendation 17 Planning at district level. 1. Plans should be prepared at the district level. 2. One-fifth of the membership of the DPC should be of experts. Article 243 ZD needs to be amended for the purpose. Recommendation 18 Planning for megacities and urban agglomerations. Metropolitan planning committees to be empowered to conduct all planning activities for megacities by exercising control over all local bodies within their geographical confines. MPC also to be endowed with powers being exercised by other authorities, including government departments. This should be done by state legislation.